Hi loves, welcome to this new video. My name is Daphne, or also known as Daphne and I'm an illustration student from the Netherlands, and I haven't filmed a video like this in so long. I cannot even remember when was the last time, I don't know. Before I jump into this video, if you'd like, you can follow me on Instagram at DaphneintheTrees or DaphneintheTrees art. I have a page where I post just regular photos and a page where I post my artwork. So if you're interested in that, you can follow me over there and stay up to date when there's no video of me on the internet. If you're new here, hi, hello, welcome to my channel. As I mentioned before, I am an art student. I'm from the Netherlands. I go to the Willem de Koning Academy and I am currently in my third year of illustration. There is this hype on YouTube right now where other art students talk about their life at the art academy and what it's really like studying at the art academy, all the ups and downs, all the ins and outs. And I've been getting that question myself a lot lately, so I figured I would make a video and tell you a little bit more about my life at the art academy and how I experience things. Of course, I am not finished yet. I am halfway there, but that's okay. I figured this could be a part 1 and maybe I can make a part 2 in a couple of years from now and then sort of look back on this video and my complete experience. As I mentioned before, I'm in my third year, so I do know some things, but I'm not entirely there yet. Let's start with a little bit of some background information. When I finished high school, I was only 16 years old. That has everything to do with the system here in the Netherlands. I'm not going to go into details because that would make this video super complicated. But I was finished when I was 16 and I was the only one from my class who decided to go to a new school, to college in Rotterdam, which was almost 2.5 hours away from where I used to live with my parents. So that was a bit of a trip every day. I believe that this already sounds super complicated, but I did another study before this one because I was still very young and you need to have a certain level of education here in the Netherlands before you can enter an art academy. An art academy is HBO level and I was only allowed to do MBO level, which is beneath HBO. So I went to an MBO school, which was Heeft Lyceum, the Dutch School of Graphic Design. And even within MBO you have different types of levels, even though it's the lowest type of college in the Netherlands. But I did the highest level of MBO possible, which was level 4, I believe. So I did a full 4-year course MBO here in Rotterdam and I was finished when I was 20 years old. And I studied art and design back then. After I was finished with my studies at the Dutch School of Graphic Design, I was 20 years old and I still really wanted to go to a real art school, to an HBO level college here in the Netherlands. So I applied to Willem de Koning in Rotterdam and the HKU in Utrecht. And I got into both, but I chose the Willem de Koning Academy because I already lived here. I moved to Rotterdam 2 years within my previous studies. And I decided that it would be really nice to just stay in Rotterdam and go to another school in the same city. So I went there and I started my first year when I was 20. I was still 20 years old. Yeah, I was almost 21. And damn, the difference between an MBO and an HBO in the Netherlands is quite big, if I may say so myself. It was a totally new experience and I really needed to get used to the different types of teaching and how my schedule was formed. So that took quite some time to get used to. I of course chose to do illustration, but there was also a moment where I wanted to do audiovisual, AV, whatever you want to call it. because I really like making videos and like editing, and I like to learn more about video editing programs and software and stuff like that. But I'm still super happy that I chose illustration and stayed there, because in my opinion it's one of the broadest studies within my art academy. And that brings me to my next point. I can of course only speak for myself and my own experience and my knowledge of my own art academy, and also how it works for art academies in the Netherlands. I do not know how it works outside of the Netherlands. There are so many different types of art schools in the world, so I can only speak for myself. But illustration at de Willem-de-Koning is super multidisciplinair. Is that the right word? It is super broad. I think that a lot of people who applied to illustration at my art academy and who are still applying as if nowadays, are expecting to hold a pencil every day and get real life model drawing classes or color studies, stuff like that. And that sure is an option. If you want to learn that stuff, you can learn that stuff. There are classes, there are what's it called? We call that electives. We have certain weeks off every school year where you can do your own project, where you can learn new stuff, but it's not part of your regular program. And I think that a lot of people were super disappointed in that. So a lot of people dropped out in the first year and also in the second year, and even now in the third year people are still dropping out because they expected something different of illustration and of the course, the studies, and of de Willem-de-Koning itself. Because I did art and design before illustration, I had some experience with broad studies, because art and design was also super multidisciplinaire. It was also super broad, so I did not mind that my new studies, illustration, was also very broad and that I got to do a lot of different things. At the Willem-de-Koning Academy we have tons of different stations. We call them stations. For example, we have the drawing station. That's where the illustrators are located most of the time. But we also have a material station, a wood workshop, a metal workshop place. We have a fabric station. We have a ceramics place, which is really nice. I'm very fond of that place. And tons more. We have a lot of different stuff happening at the art academy, and you're basically free to do whatever you want. You can just hop in there. If you don't know how something works, you can ask a teacher or another student. You can sign yourself up for electives, courses, workshops, basically anything and everything. That's what I like most about the Willem-de-Koning Academy. It is so incredibly broad. It's a playground, and even though I'm in illustration, I spend a lot of time at the fabric and the ceramic station because I just love working with clay and I love working with fabrics. I love sewing stuff, I love making and designing my own stuff. I like make plates, everything. I love it, and I love the fact that that is an option here. But there are always people who are not interested in doing other stuff. I think that it is super important that if you want to study here, that you, if it's possible, go to an open day. We have 2 open days each year. Ask questions, read the website, look up some information and educate yourself. Know what you're getting yourself into, because it's not your typical illustration or art school course, but that's what I really like about it. As I mentioned before, I really needed to get used to the difference between an MBO and an HBO, because the working pressure was completely different, the schedules were different. I was used to going to school from 8 in the morning till 5 in the evening. And at the art academy you basically, or at my art academy at Willem-de-Koning, you basically have class maybe 30 to 50% a week, and all the other hours you have free time to do your own projects, to learn new things, but you need to do it yourself. No one is going to hold your hand, no one is going to tell you what you need to do or what you need to learn or what you can learn or can do. You need to figure it out yourself, because now I have all these options, and I'm going to do an internship next year, starting February till the summer holidays, and it means that I won't be at school for a very long time, and that makes me really, really sad, because I remember I had to do an internship when I was at the Dutch School of Graphic Design. I also had to do an internship which was 8 months, full-time, every working day of the week, Monday till Friday, or in my case it was Tuesday till Saturday, because my internship was closed on Mondays. And that was super, super difficult for me, so I'm a bit scared of doing another internship, but I've grown a lot. I'm 4 years older. I turned 23 this month, which is crazy now that I think of it. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with this actually. Well, you have to do an internship in the 3rd year. Everyone has to do it. The nice thing about doing illustration here is that you can combine it with a freelance internship. I'm going to try to do that because I have you guys, I have my YouTube channel, I am currently running an Etsy shop which is going really, really well, and I still want to invest time in that when I have to do an internship. So I'm going to look for a part-time internship and then have maybe 2 days of the week left, for example a Tuesday and a Friday, where I can work on my videos and on my products and my store and stuff like that, because that's very important to me, and they support that at the Art Academy, which is really nice. They understand that you have your own life and your own projects, and I like that. You may be wondering, Daphne, is there also stuff that you do not like about your Art Academy? Why, yes, there is. Or in fact, it's an experience. Like I said, when I was starting out, I was getting used to the Art Academy and the teachers and the way of teaching. And I failed my first 2 semesters. And I was devastated. I was so sad because I had put a lot of work. Oh my god, I think I did many, I remember I did many all-nighters back then. I haven't done an all-nighter in maybe 2 years, but during the first 2 semesters, oh, it was terrible. I stayed up till very early in the morning to work on my projects, and actually they looked alright. I was quite happy with them back then. Of course I would do them differently nowadays, but I filled my first 2 semesters and I was so devastated and I was so angry, and for a split second I believed that I did not belong at the Art Academy and that my time was up and there was nothing for me to do or to learn. But that's of course nonsense, and I sort of gave myself a break and I invented myself again. All the stuff that I learned at the Dutch School of Graphic Design, the me that I was back then, I just threw it away and I started with a clean slate. And it opened my eyes, honestly, and it helped me a lot. And I haven't failed a semester since then, which is really nice. I often get asked about the projects that we do, because it's not your typical illustration course. I believe that a good example of one of the projects that I really liked, and which is a good example of how the course, the studies works, is the box project. I filmed that one in a video. I will link it down below if you're interested in seeing that. It's in one of my studio/art school vlogs. We had to buy a cardboard box and turn it into something, and we had to do a little performance with it. And the meaning behind the project was you had to tell the audience how you see yourself as a creative, as an illustrator, and what you want to do with that, and how you see the world and how you approach things with your work, which was really, really nice. We only had 3 weeks to do that assignment, but it turned out really well. And it was actually the first time that I discovered that I could combine theater with illustration. I've been filming for more than 20 minutes, which is more than enough, so I'm going to stop it right here. I know that this was a ton of information. It was so much crammed into one video, and I feel like there's so much more to say. So if you have any questions, if there's anything you would like to know about my studies or the Art Academy, you can leave a question in the comment section and I will try to answer it as best as I possibly can. I also made a frequently asked questions highlight in my stories on Instagram. So if you go to DaphneintheTrees on Instagram, you just look at the frequently asked questions highlight in my stories on my profile, and there's a ton of information about the admission day, about the Art Academy itself, where it's located, how everything works. So if there's stuff you would like to know, you can also go ahead to my Instagram, give me a follow, and look at the frequently asked questions. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. It was very, very lovely to have you here. I have a bunch of studio vlogs and art school vlogs here already on my channel. They're all in English. If you want to watch them, if you want to get to know me, go ahead, click subscribe, everything. Leave a like, stuff like that. You know the jazz, you know the drill. I'll see you very, very soon. Thank you so much. Bye!